everybody, this is Mickey G. As I was reviewing this recording, I felt like I was in geography class as Rodney and I talked about the many different places where we've been. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Old Fools Talking Old School.
I never did really appreciate the size of the Mississippi. You take for granted when you don't see it. And plus, too, the only other times that I saw the Mississippi was when I was in New Orleans down there at the end of it, where you really didn't see
Right.
what it's about. But when we came out there that time, crossed them bridges, I was like, I'll be damned.
Yeah.
I didn't know the Mississippi was this vast.
Yeah. It's big. It's big and wide, and you say it would flood. It would flood in the spring because of all the ice melt up north, in Wisconsin and Michigan, all that flow down, and it'd flood. And in the summertime when them storms would come through, and that was that land right next to the river was some of the most fertile land in the area. I mean, they had farms down there, and the state just got tired after a while of all that flooding, and then have to go in and pay them that through that FEMA and all that stuff. They said, y'all got to move. Y'all got to move to higher ground. They made all of them people move up to higher ground because they were getting flooded out at least 2 times a year.
Right.
And the people were saying, hey, we're willing to go through it just to be able to farm this land because it was the best farming land around. But they said, no, you got to move to higher ground. We ain't going to keep paying y'all every year because you get flooded out. But yeah, it's a big old river, that's for sure.
It sure is, man. I was like, damn, I'm riding across there. Hell, I was like, I was sightseeing. You better keep your eyes on the road, boy.
Yeah, it's big. And you see them big old boats out there, them tugs and them barges and all that stuff going up and down.
True.
Yeah, it's a big river.
I'm telling you, man. So yeah, that I liken it to puncher train, and they call that a lake. I'm like, this ain't no damn lake.
Yeah, buddy. And it takes a while to get across Pontchartrain too. Every
buddy.
time we've gone through there, I said, please, don't break down on this. Because there ain't really a shoulder you can get off on.
No.
I mean, there's a little bit of one, but I'm like, just get us to the other side, Lord, please.
Yes, indeed. And then them folks down there that drive it every day, they act like they're in the Indy 500. I'm like, damn, I feel like an old maid over to the right, Like, you get out your way there, home.
Yeah, and then you go down there through Mobile, and you go through that one that goes underwater. You've been through that one in Mobile, right?
No,
the one that goes underwater. You hadn't been through that one in Mobile?
Not in Mobile. I did. I've been through the one at Alameda out there between Oakland and San Francisco.
Yeah, they got one down in Mobile that comes off and goes down under the water and then comes back up on the other side. They got one down there.
Yeah, I was tripping on that, man, because you have this idea in your mind about things being perfect. Ain't nothing perfect. I was driving down through there with my cousin, right? I'm like, hey, man, there's water running down the side of the
Yeah. They're not watertight.
Exactly. I'm like, this will be the time when this motherfucker collapse when I'm down here. I couldn't wait till we got to the other side over there.
Yeah, they're not watertight. There's water usually always running down the side of them.
I'm telling you, man. I'm like, man, is that water? Ooh, they talking about send him on back to Texas, boy. I'm like, damn, man, no. Is there another way to go?
Well, that's the only thing. Yeah, there's another way to go, but you're gonna take you probably 3 more hours, and then this way will go. You
That's
got
right.
to go around so far. That's why they built most of them to save people some time, because to go around is gonna take you another hour or 2 to go around.
And the optics are just as bad, because then you can see all that water.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man. So, I think I'll stay right in as rural as I can get.
I tell you.
But yeah, that's the world we live in, though. But
yeah.
The whole area down south, though, with them little rickety old looking bridges, man, I was like, "Oh, man, I'd hate to have to be trying to come across these all the time."
Yeah. We had one in McMinnville growing up as a kid. That's what we called it, the rickety rackety bridge. That damn thing made more noise when you was going across it than you could hear them boards 'cause it had like a wooden boards base to it, and it was a
Yeah.
steel bridge, but the roadway was wood, and you hear that
Mhm.
wood popping and popping and popping, so we called it the rickety rackety bridge. They finally replaced it. I think it is after I left with the Air Force. I think it was in the late '70s, early '80s, they finally replaced it. But yeah, you go across that thing and you only one car could go at a time. So when you got there, if there's a car coming, you got to stop and wait. And then, if the people were courteous enough, they would let you go next, kind of
Right,
thing. Because
right.
it was only a one-lane bridge. But yeah, we had
Yeah.
one in my hometown.
Hey, Golden Gate, as big as it is, that sucker's got give in it. It sways when that
Oh
wind get to
yeah.
blowing. Man, first time I went across there, I was like, "Is this bridge moving?" Ah, I was like, "Boy, this is something else here, boy." People just I mean, you take things for granted, you just don't know till you get there, boys.
No, no, when we went out there, we walked across it. And, they got that little sort of monument thing down at the start of it shows you the size of those cables,
Yeah,
because you look at it on a picture on TV, you don't realize how round, the diameter of them things.
right,
And I'm
right.
like, "Goodness, I never thought these cables were this thick." But,
Mhm.
yeah, we walked across it when we were out there, and, when I went out there to see my partner, he was at Travis, and
Mhm.
he took us to Oakland, and he took us to, Compton and the LA and San Francisco and Oakland. We went all over while we were out there. We was out there for 3 or 4 days. Uh, it, is a very interesting part. He took us to you could see Alcatraz. We didn't go to it. He took us
Right.
to the Fisherman's Wharf and all that stuff, man. We really had a good time out there.
Yeah, yeah, we went down there to, Fisherman Wharf. You sit up there looking at all that meat hanging in there, flies all over it. I'm like, "Who eating that?" I'll never forget, we were driving down, we come up on one of them, like the streets of San Francisco, and I used to always time I saw that show, I would think about that. You come to the top of the hill, and then you look down, there ain't nothing but water down there. You see Alcatraz over there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and and I'll never forget, we were driving down, and, boy, you damn sure better not speed because you might not be able to stop, and, but anyway, we were driving down there, and this old dude and his wife was in a car in front of us, and just happened to look over to the right. I mean, this was the finest body-wise. I didn't even see her face, but it was her body on her like a little oh, man, it was like she was chiseled. Had a little old short miniskirt on, and it was that booty was flopping. This old man, I guess he got stuck on it. He ran into the back of the car in front of I felt sorry for him because I could see how he could get stuck over there. I wasn't driving, I was riding, and I was stuck, I was like, "Look at that." Yeah, it was funny, though. Old man ran into the back of the car.
Yeah, but that's something like you see in a movie or something like that. Oh, no,
Yeah.
that's real life. That
I'm
happens in real
I'm
life.
I'm serious. But, man, that
Oh,
that
man.
that's a dive down there, boy, looking straight down. You just, like, looking into the water. I was like, "Oh,
Mhm.
man."
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, that's what I don't know why California was a place that I wanted to always visit, but it was never a place I wanted to live,
No,
I
no.
don't know why. I just seemed like California just wasn't my style, but I always wanted to go, and I got a chance to go and sort of hit the big city, and, when he took us to Compton, I said, "All you need to do is just drive past the Compton sign and make a U and come right back. I ain't gotta go, driving through the
Yeah.
neighborhoods and just
Yeah.
just go past the sign so I can take a picture of the sign and you can make a U and get right back out." He said, "All right." Ah,
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's me. But I enjoyed Oakland though. I had a great time in Oakland
yeah.
myself.
Oh, we did too. We went up there and went to a club. Matter of fact, we went to a club. Was it in LA one night? No, I think we went to the club in Sacramento. 'Cause that's where Travis was outside of Sacramento. I think we went to a club there that night, and then we drove up to Oakland the next night, and there was a girl that was at the club in San Francisco. She said her name was, Black Tie. I think she was a prostitute, to
Mm-hmm.
tell the truth.
That's
And
what
we
we was
go to
looking at on the sidewalk. That's what she was.
yeah, and we go to Oakland, and guess who's in the club in Oakland?
Who's that?
Black ties in the club in Oakland too. I said, of all the chances of somebody you just meet off the humbug, and you
Mm-hmm.
walk into this club up in Oakland, and there she is in there, black tie. I,
Mm.
I, I remember that. Like I said, I think she was a prostitute. She was fine though.
Oh yeah,
She was fine. But yeah,
yeah,
I
but
enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed the time we were out there. I was
oh yeah,
surprised about all the homeless people in LA. I didn't expect that.
yeah.
I mean, we had a good time. We had a good time.
Well, this television sets you up looking at it. They show all the glamorous spots, but you
Yeah,
don't see all
yeah.
that other when you're looking at TV. Because I felt the same way about London. When we got over there, and for whatever reason, Heathrow was kind of backed up, so we flew around the city for about an hour waiting for our chance to land.
Mhm.
And after you get past the tower and a few of the updated sites, I'm like, this is the dump. We was flying around there. I was like, man. Especially, you remember it's all gray anyway.
Right, right.
And I was like, this is a dump, man. And I felt the same way about LA when I went in there, you know, because the first time I went to LA, I went on a bus and we drove in, where the bus station is. And I saw these people. I'm like, what are these people doing sleeping on the sidewalk? Got their little tents and stuff. I'm like, damn. So yeah, to get ready, you ain't seeing the Hollywood Walk of Fame when you walk
No,
down through there.
no. It's a whole lot different than you see on TV. I guess I was surprised more by just there was just so many. I mean, downtown LA, it wasn't like they were out in
Yeah.
some kind of homeless camp somewhere. I mean, this was downtown LA, and I just never realized there were just so many down there.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I didn't either till I saw that.
Yeah, yeah, never
And
realized so many.
and as bad as they talk about Oakland, I didn't see none of that in Oakland. I saw uh, uh, nothing but. I mean, it looked kind of like home a little bit, other than they always had some bigger houses out there, and they were stuck on them sides of the mountain with them little stilts. I'm like,
Yeah,
boy, as
yeah.
much as y'all get earthquakes, and y'all counting on that. But my I always called him my uncle, but he wasn't. Him and my mother were real close. They were cousins,
Mhm.
and I guess I was his second cousin. But anyway, he was in the Navy out there. He lived on Alameda out in the middle, on the island out there where the base was, and that's where we was going. We was going in the Alameda Tunnel,
Right.
going over to Oakland over there. But I didn't see I didn't see none of that like I saw in L.A. It was all nice, and I had a little ulterior motive too. I had a little young sister out there I was visiting, and yeah, they lived in a nice little neighborhood. She took me to a party. We went to so I don't know where the hell I was. God, you talk about somebody, boy. If they'd have dropped me off on the side of the road, I wouldn't have known what the hell to do. But I mean, I felt right at home out there. But yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Know what you
I
mean.
don't know. I was who was that I was talking to the other day? Partner of mine, we used to work at the Holiday Inn together back in he said, "Man, we first met in 1975." We was counting up the years. I said, "Well, damn." I said, "Yeah, I pretty much been out of the workforce for what did it say? Nah, we had just known each other. It's been 50 years, And I was like, "Yeah, man. It's been that." At first, I said, "No, not 50, man." But then I'm like, "Well, sure, 47, so I guess so." Yeah, been 50 years. And, yeah, I enjoyed talking to him. He said, "Man, I was just going through my phone." I said, "Damn, I ain't talked to." He used to call me Toodlum.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, Richard Pryor said, "Man, you remind me of Toodlum, man." I was like, "Come on, man." And, but, yeah, Orlando's, he was in the Marines and he got out. And he was telling me he's a pastor now. And he tripped me out. He was like, 'cause at that time, I was still in high school, man. I was a bus boy. He was a waiter. So, I was like, "Yeah, man," 'cause we talked we had talked before about it, but he was saying, he said, "Yeah, man." He said, "I did a little time in print." He's big in down that area down there with the prison industries. He always goes
Mhm.
back and ministers to those guys and all that. He said, "Well, sure, a little time, man." He said, You'd be surprised." He said, "Hell." I said, "Well, man, I just remember you being a waiter. What went down?" He said, "Man, that was my front. I was selling more weed than the law allowed." I was like, "Damn, I ain't know that." He said, "No, didn't nobody know." He said, that's how you do business, man." He said, "But guess who turned me in?" I was like, "Who?" "My cousin."
Oh, really?
Yeah, cousin turned me because, it was one of them things where he lent him some money a couple of times, and then he came back and asked for more, and he told him no. That sucker turned him in, he said. He said, "Them be the ones." He said, had my little undercover thing going." He said, "See, I wasn't like a lot of them dudes down there. I had me just a regular car. I wasn't doing nothing out of ordinary." But he said, "Hell, I was selling more weed than the law allowed down there." But his cousin turned him in because he wouldn't loan him some money.
Oh, boy.
Again.
Yeah. Mm, mm, mm.
So
But, that to me, that's the way you do it,
Mhm,
because I know there was a guy, he was like a cousin's cousin. He got
mhm.
busted 3 he was one of those, what are they, 3 strikes and you're out kind of people.
Yeah,
They put in prison for supposed to been for life, but they changed that law a few years back and they let him out. But, you know, driving around in a big Ford Expedition, rims on it, tricked out, ain't got no job, sit at
right,
home all day, and he driving stuff like he had a this white girl he was going with, she had I think she had an Explorer. It had rims on it. It was all tricked out. And everybody kept saying they knew what he was doing. Of course, like I
right.
said, he got caught 3 times, and he wasn't the smartest guy in the world. But, yeah, if you're gonna ride around like that, at least try to give the impression you got a
Yeah,
job that you can pay for it.
exactly,
You don't do that kinda stuff and everybody know you ain't working nowhere.
exactly. Man, it's just silliness, man. He said, "No, man, that waiter job was my front, man."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, man." He said, "No, I just had me a." He said he was telling me what it was. "Do you remember I had such and such and such?" I was like, "No, I don't remember that, man." But, hell, I was into my own little world.
Right.
He's a little older than us too. But, he said, "No, man." He said, "Hell, I had my little game going. I had my Dallas to Texarkana connection." And he said, "My cousin turned me in."
Mm.
It's like, boy, that's family for you.
That's family for you. I heard that. I heard that.
So he laugh and talk about it now because I know when I went home one time and he had gotten in touch with me. "Man, next time you in Texarkana, you better stop it." He said it again this time. I said, "Yeah, I was over by your house. I was down there for a funeral." He said, "You ain't stopped by?" I said, "Well, man, I was unannounced. I wasn't just gonna pop in." "Man, you better bring your tail over here next time you in town." And I was like, "Yeah, all right then, brother." But I remember several years ago. he got in touch with me, and, 'cause we all used to drink Holiday Inn's liquor up when we were working there, and, so, "Yeah, man, come on by to see me." "Yeah, okay, man." He told me where he lived, I rolled by there. So I'm going in there thinking, we're gonna have a couple of little hooks and reminisce and all that. I got in there. He's like, "Yo, brother, I got some iced tea or soda." I said, "I don't drink no more. I'm a pastor." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Never pictured you as a
Yeah,
pastor, but we
I'm
all
telling
make
you.
changes in life.
There you go, there you go. I sure wasn't expecting no iced tea, but, we had a good time sitting up there talking.
Yeah, have you ever gone back and seen an old friend that's had a dramatic change in life, either good or bad? Yeah, I think most of us have done that. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition. Join us next time for Old Fools Talking Old School. Until then, this is Mickey G. Peace.